You are watching the Jersey Comic Crew. Right now, we are talking about DC Fandom Part 2. Find out all the info you need to know about DC, upcoming TV shows, video games, cartoons. Find out now.
Hey guys, you're tuned into the Jersey Comic Crew. We're bringing the news and reviews of your favorite comics, movies, and TV shows. On today's episode, we're going to talk about DC Fandom Part 2, exploring the multiverse. We got a little bit more news on some of our favorite pieces of content we wanted to share with you. As always, I'm Rob Moran, and with me is...
Chris, hello.
So, Chris, DC Fandom Part 2, some say that there's not a lot of news, but the news that is here that we are going to talk about is very important.
See.
I see here the script, and I know you want to say it. What's coming out, Chris?
Heavy breathing. So Youn Justice, Season 4, we know it exists.
Thank God.
We know it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's a thing.
We know a name.
We got a title, Youn Justice Phantoms.
And that's all we know.
And that's it. We got a title page. You can check it out on our Instagram. I'm sure we'll pull it up here too. But yeah, it's great to know that it's a thing because it was one of the shows. It seems like it's always in limbo between season 2 to 3, and even now, like it's such a great show, but it's always in limbo. Like hopefully this gains some consistency. Hopefully they move it to HBO Max.
Well, here's the thing. I think that got kind of caught up on it. Like season 2, like the show got canceled because it was on TV, and they revived it with season 3. With the DC universe, right? And for some reason, it almost feels like a new show, if you will, like a brand new start, which was great. And now the reason season 3 to season 4 there's been this delay in this limbo, in case you were wondering, it's all this stuff around the DC Universe app and HBO Max and the mergers and like what they're trying to do to figure out their content. So I think that's why I got hold, because when that came out, that did I think the best out of everything all the content they had put out there. So now to bring this back, and it's probably going to go on HBO Max. Everything's going to HBO Max.
DC Universe is kind of just going to become a comic platform now.
Right? So it's good to see that we're going to get this, because the story where we left off, big cliffhanger, we don't really know what's going to happen. And now we're going to finally move forward and get the resolution to all this drama. Now, Chris, I need to ask you a favor for me and for the fans at home. Real quick, and I mean real quick, not a your real quick, like a me real quick. What happened last season? Where did we leave off? As a refresher for all of our fans at home.
They went to Apocalypse and fought Darkseid.
There we go.
And saved the Justice League, right?
Yes.
And we had 3 new characters.
Yes.
My favorite was the Beetlebug guy.
He's the favorite. We have him.
The one who just likes to eat everything.
And then we have the chick that could use multiple different kind of magics. I forget her name.
Yes, she's basically like a Green Lantern, but like with her mind.
And who was the other third character?
And she's a Muslim character as well, I believe. And the third guy was the guy from the made-up, DC country. He was a prince, and he could like basically terraform magma.
Yep.
So that was interesting. I thought season 3 was really good. I'm interested in how dark they go season 4, because the name Phantoms, sometimes you could tell a lot through a title, right? And season 3 was Outsiders, right? It was Youn Justice Outsiders,
which makes sense because those 3 new characters we got, they were the outsiders in their own world. The prince, they're pretty much a fallen prince. His country casted him out. We had the Muslim refugee prisoner that again was an outsider to these people, outsider of the world.
She kind of died and came back to life.
Correct. And the Beetlebug, he was different from his other people. So they were all outsiders in their own respects. And
what I liked about... sorry. Sorry to interrupt. What I liked about him the most was they took the trope from, like, X-Men Evolution, where Nightcrawler has the watch that makes him look normal to humans.
I like that.
And he looked like kind of this normal chunky kid in high school, but he was actually like this bug dude.
I always like the high school scenes. Like they go back to school, kind of have some normalcy. It's nice.
Yeah.
But this one, I have no idea what this next season is going to be about. Ghosts?
I have theories, Rob. As you know, I'm a theory guy.
All right. What's your theory?
So I have 2 theories. Number one, the word phantoms means, like you said, kind of like ghosts, dark. will this mix with Young Justice and the Justice League Dark? Will we see characters like Constantine, Zatanna more? We saw like Zatanna in season 1 and 2, kind of like this young like chick that Robin was like, oh my god. And then season 3, she's kind of like this adult in Justice League already. So what are we going to see in the form of like Phantom? Is it going to be JL Dark? Are we going to see Swamp Thing? Are we going to see characters like that?
What if, because like Young Justice, right? Young Justice, the Titans, Teen Titans, like they're all like the different stages of like a hero. Like you're a little kid, you're on Teen Titans, then you go to Young Justice, then Titans, then the big leagues, right? Yeah. I think that's kind of how it works. In the comics, there's no Young Justice, but in that order, we're going to do it, right? So like, what if they introduce a Justice League Dark type character for this new Young Justice team, right? Young Justice and Titans, because like Titans, you kind of have that, but you really don't. Yeah. So I think it'd be cool to create a new character that could kind of pick up speed. I think it's going to be in the realm of magic, right? It's going to have to be something tied to like Swamp Thing, not Swamp Thing, kind of like Zatanna or Constantine, kind of that kind of magical side.
You should get Bobo the Monkey on
Young Justice. My god, if Bobo the Monkey's on Young Justice, great. Bobo
like
the Monkey,
drinking, smoking Bobo the Monkey.
If you guys who don't know who Bobo the Monkey is, he is a magical chimpanzee.
Yeah.
Chimpanzee. Correct. He's a detective chimp.
Detective chimp.
He has a magical sword and he can kill things with it. And he
drinks at a bar that's in Limbo.
Yeah, he owns a bar that's in Limbo. Yes, that anybody could go to. It's a safe haven. Nothing is supposed to destroy it or attack it.
Well, here's my second theory, which I think you're gonna like this one better.
Better than Bobo the Monkey?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm ready. Theory number 2. Phantoms is also kind of a connotation to your past, right? And whether it's ghost of your past, skeletons in your closet, the word phantom has multiple meanings. And in this case for Young Justice, what if this involves like Ra's al Ghul, League of Assassins, the Lazarus Pit, bringing back Wally West, like phantoms of the past, aka things that are left undone. We've seen kind of all these characters who can't get over Wally's death and certain characters dying. And does this have a like come full circle past to present feel of it involving League of Assassins, Ra's al Ghul, which you can have your head of Nightwing, and Arsenal and all these other like kind of Arrow characters within that realm that have to like say, are we really going to do this to bring Wally back? Like, do we need him for whatever this is so much that we're gonna kind of desecrate?
Man, they already fought Darkseid. What else can they need? Like what?
Well, they didn't fight Darkseid by themselves, right? No. Like they had help from the Justice League. But this would be interesting because Wally kind of went with the Speed Force, right? He sacrificed himself. How would you even like? There's not a body technically you could just throw in the Lazarus pit. So that's where there's a little bit of like the holes in that theory, but like I'm sure there's some way because what's her face still isn't over him. Artemis is still, like she wakes up and the picture's right there, and we saw throughout season 3 her conflict with letting him go, and Zatanna brings her to that tree in the park that allows her to communicate with him, which was a great episode.
And she talks to her father, right? Zatanna?
And talks to her father too, who is in the Fate helmet. So I think that would be a great trope where it's like the phantoms of our past, not so much like, like obviously it's easy to be like, all right, ghosts and magic and Justice League Dark, but what if it's a mix or one or the other? I don't know. I think it'd be cool.
That's cool. We want to hear your theories on season 4 of Young Justice. Comment down below, right down there, right under our faces. Let me know. Well, let us know your theories. Are you excited for season 4? Have you watched season 3 yet? Season 3 is a fun ride if you haven't. Go watch it. Go find it online. It's everywhere. It's fantastic. Chris, another little piece of news that we got here. We heard more about this a while ago, but they brought this back into light. So Batman Death in the Family is going to be its first ever interactive movie.
That sounds so cool.
So it's going to be involving Jason Todd. So in the comics, Jason Todd was Robin, and they had a vote to whether Joker would kill him or vote whether he was saved. And I think the vote was to kill. Not they killed him eventually, but I think we found out later that they were actually supposed to save him. I think
the vote was unanimously to kill him.
I thought I don't know what I'm misremembering because I thought I read online that they thought it was to unanimously kill him, but then they found like there was missing votes and stuff like that.
Well,
and they wanted to save him.
The vote tally was fairly close.
Okay.
But it was definitely more to kill him. They had stories in place in case either or happened.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, I missed that.
But the vote was to kill him. People hated Jason Todd, and DC was tired of hearing about it. So they basically were like, here's two, back in the 80s, right? There's no like vote online. It was, here's two phone numbers you could call, and we'll tally up kill or save.
Which is cool.
And
that's such a cool
fans, thing. Yeah, it is. And it's the only time it happened in like comics history. And the DC fans spoke, and they were like, kill him. He sucks. We hate Jason Todd as Robin.
Well, I'm so glad they did, because they came up with the Red Hood, and they probably made him such a better character because of his death.
And I think with this movie, which is interesting, they're bringing back that trope in a new way, which is they're giving us three options. It's Joker kills Jason, Batman saves Jason, or the third one is like Jason like gets out of it somehow. They added like a third one. And what's interesting is like people are like, oh, we already had this movie. Like DC did an animated movie, Batman Under the Red Hood, which is a phenomenal movie. But that movie's more of the aftermath of Jason getting attacked and being killed by the Joker. And that's more of the Red Hood origin movie, not so much how he becomes Red Hood and the end of Jason Todd as Robin. So this to me is like the culmination of that story, in the style of the original comic from Jim Starlin back in like the late 80s. So that's pretty awesome.
I really like this idea of interactive movie. Do you remember the movie they did on Netflix that was fully interactive?
Yeah,
it was.
I do.
Was it Jabberwocky? I think it was like,
I forget the name, but it was like every couple of minutes you had to decide.
Yeah, it was. Oh my god, it was like a video game movie, and
it did pretty well, right? Like people were like, "Oh, this is kind of fun."
I just don't remember the name of it at all. I was just trying to search it up online, and I couldn't because it's just so off.
Yeah.
But I remember it was like an Alice in Wonderland kind of name. That,
interesting.
I don't know, but like the whole interactive movie concept sounds awesome.
It does.
I hope this movie is more interactive than I'm envisioning. I'm envisioning right now you make one decision, and that turns it into the movie. I'm hoping that it's multiple. Yeah.
Well, I think it's one decision towards the end, right? It's you watch the movie, which is based on the comic, and at the end, so in the comics, it was a 4-issue series, and you read 1, 2, 3, and then at the end of issue 3, it was call in, kill him, or save him. And then issue 4 would dictate what that decision was.
So you think they're just going to mirror that?
It's going to be mirrored, and it's going to be like, here's the story. At the end, here's 3 different ways this will end based on your choice. But the good part is you go back and watch every different way that this ends, right? So if you kill him, you see how kind of the normal story happened, right? If you save him, it's a different story, which I'm sure is based on what they had written back in the 80s, if the public decide to save him. And then they have the third option, which I'm sure was like the movie people like, hey, what about this?
So what are you picking first is the question.
Oh, I'm picking kill him first.
Yeah?
I'm picking the old school story. I want to see the old original story play out on TV, which is something that, again, even though it's animated, it's not something I thought I would see. You know what I mean? It's still, I'm very easy to please like that when it's like, oh my God, this is insanely awesome, where I can basically watch this happen in front of me, especially for a comic line that I wasn't alive yet for, which is such a legendary moment in the comics industry.
True,
so that's what excites me. So I'm definitely going to do all 3, but I'll probably first do kill him, then like Batman saves him.
I think for me, we have the 3 options: Robin cheats death, Joker kills him is option 2, and then Batman saves him. I'm probably going to pick Batman saves him as my first option. Just because I'm like, all right, have the happy ending, and like, what's most likely to happen with my knowledge of Batman? Batman saves the day at the end, right? So he's going to save Robin, and we're going to see how that story plays out. But I'm definitely going to watch all 3. I just can't wait for this movie. I think it's going to be fun.
It's going to be really cool.
We want to hear your thoughts on this movie, this interactive movie from DC. Is this something you're going to get? More importantly, what are you picking first? Are you picking Batman saves him? You picking Joker kills him, or you picking Robin cheats death? I can't wait to see these different stories. I feel like the Robin cheats death story, he's gonna be like a villain.
You think someone else comes and saves him?
No, I think Robin like becomes a dark villain, like not a Red Hood twisted. Ooh. He just becomes hardened, like, oh, nobody saved me.
He becomes Joker's Robin.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's gonna become his own darkness. You know what I mean? He's gonna do that instead of Red Hood, which has a redemption arc of being what he is. I love Red Hood. You know, it's okay.
No, I like Red Hood. I just don't see the redemption as much as everyone else does because if anything, he's worse now because he's just blowing people's heads off. So, which creates better. It creates a better character arc with Batman and everyone else. But I like Red Hood.
I think when I say redemption, I meant like when he was first revived and he was just killing people left and right for no reason because he was bad.
He was in the Lazarus pit. He was insane.
Exactly. So I meant from there.
Yeah, totally.
So, guys, that wraps up this episode of our review of DC Fandom. Not a lot of news, but it was definitely some cool stuff. What was your favorite topic? Let us know down below. As always, I'm Rob Moran.
And I'm Chris Heller.
And we'll see you next time.
YouTube.com/Jersey Comic Crew.